Okay, you're good. You're muted though.
Are we ready?
Yep.
All right. I want to say this is the first meeting of the new year of the Health and Human Services Committee. Today is September 10th, 2024. I am Sandra Unger. At this point, I am the chair of the committee.
I'm Joanne Rubino, co-chair.
It's Patricia Cambria, member. What am I?
Here we go.
Rich Reynoso, committee member. Yes.
Cynthia Rodriguez, community board chair.
David Levitt.
Okay. Before we begin, Joanne's going to read the code of conduct.
Okay, so,
Oh, Richard had been knowing you. Thank you. You're doing the,
Yes, the internet.
thank you.
okay, this is our conduct statement. Community Board 11 meetings must be held in a professional and hostile-free environment. The following rules of conduct are applicable to members of the public, Community Board 11, and Community Board 11 staff. Any action or behavior that disrupts or interferes with Community Board 11 business would not be tolerated during any Community Board 11 meeting and may result in the individuals being asked to leave. If the action or behavior continues, this may be considered disturbing the peace, and appropriate authorities may be summoned. If the meeting is held remotely, the person may be muted or expelled for the remainder. Repeated violations by the same person or group of people may result in a further action by the community board. All public speakers must address the full board or the committee with their concerns. Electioneering for a position other than an officer of Community Board 11 is prohibited. Engaging in acts of violence, including threats, are grounds for immediate suspension of the right to attend meetings pending review by the Ethics and Disciplinary Committee. Respect the equality, diversity, and privacy of all persons by respecting and valuing differences of culture and opinion. Refrain from unpleasant or disparaging remarks and other actions. Abstain from all forms of harassment by actively discouraging it. Disseminating false information is prohibited.
Speaking with Jeremy, he asked me, or suggested that we put off the election of the committee chair until a little later in the evening. He thought it would be better. The review, so we'll go to number 3. The review of the minutes, there really were none
No,
from June or May because there was never a quorum.
right,
Although we did have our health fair, and
right.
just as an update, I was very happy with it. Cynthia was there, who helped me tremendously, and hopefully we will have another one sooner than later. Okay. So let's go on to Melissa. It's all
Hi.
yours.
I wasn't sure, can you guys hear me okay?
Yes,
Yes,
All right, I wasn't sure, did you guys want me to, were you guys gonna share my slides or did,
If you could share, that'd be great.
yeah,
alright,
you should, because I sent the information to Cynthia, but
okay, so just give me 1 second because I thought that you guys were gonna have the slides, so I have to pull.
Which do you want? As many emails?
Yeah, I still have two.
Oh, see if you can like search for, I searched for nurses before.
Okay.
We gotta talk about it.
You know which problem?
It was from Jeremy.
Yes. So, 2 things.
Take out nurses.
Okay. What should I put?
what's happening,
Slides, maybe?
They look to, because
Look
she's
for
on
slides.
the slides to an email, they might be able to pull it up.
Yeah. that's what she did. I had no, I mean, I could do a lot, but I'm not that technical.
Yeah.
Jeremy, you still there? I have so many emails.
Yeah.
Cynthia, did you text it to Rich, who's gonna try
We're
to,
trying to see if we can find it in my email.
I may have it in mind.
I think I found
Oh.
it.
Joanne, while you're up, can you check that?
Wait around.
Thanks.
Okay, hold on. I have it on did you find it? You want me to send it to
You
you?
can send it to Cynthia,
All right, but I will send it to you.
because she's logged in.
Cynthia,
Is logged
okay.
in.
Yeah.
Want me to send it to you again? I'm gonna
Yes.
do it right now.
Go to the top.
I'm hold
Got
on.
it?
Hold
Uh,
on.
Hi, how are you?
So Dr. Diallo, you can go ahead, there's a sign-in sheet going around.
Yes, and that's me.
Just put it in person, just put your,
Signature.
sig-
Cynthia, did you get it?
your initials.
It
next
could
to
be at
your
the very, very bottom of that email. Not send it yet.
Refreshing.
okay. Oh, okay, I'm gonna share my screen. I apologize. I
It's all right.
was unprepared. I'm so sorry.
Fine.
So
We tried our best. But
I appreciate your patience with me. Mm.
Sandy,
Chair, Joanne.
we'll let you introduce yourself.
All right.
There we go.
Can
Cool.
everybody see my screen?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Okay. I don't know how to do it like with WebEx to do the presentation, so I hope this is okay.
That's
But
fine.
I appreciate first and foremost everybody having me here today. My name is Melissa Toonkel, and I'm the Assistant Director of Arriva Inc.'s Financial Capabilities Program. So I've been doing like a number of presentations across all of the community boards in the Bronx because our services primarily pertain to people that live in the Bronx. And I wanted to share this with you in the hopes that like maybe I could connect with some other human service organizations or you guys would keep us in mind for any workshops or events that you are having in the future. So a little bit about us. We're a financial capabilities program. We started in the South Bronx about 20 years ago, just doing free tax preparation for about 400 people. Since then, we've expanded, and in 2013, we launched the financial counseling program. So this is just like our mission statement. We exist to create economic justice, financial inclusion, and the opportunity for all residents of New York City to build financially empowered and prosperous lives. So a little bit about financial counseling. It's free. All of our services are free. We keep everything confidential. And our programs are geared to help people build financial like stability where they might be in a situation where it's hard for them to do that, right? So when we think when I'm talking about financial counseling, it's like we have access to the FICO and the TransUnion generator tool. So basically what we can do is we can pull up somebody's credit score within minutes. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, you have these apps online that'll tell you your credit score, but this is actually like from the source and it's a printout and it has some very helpful like key points. So we discuss the score. We have like the top 3 factors that are affecting the score, and like ways that we can support the person to better their score, or if they don't have credit at all, discuss ways that they can help to build credit. Like we have a lot of partnerships with um community banks. We also have a lot of partnerships with like bigger banks, like such as Capital One, M&T Bank. There's a Spring Bank on 167th Street where we actually have our tax office in the upstairs. And so we connect people to banking. A lot of people don't realize how predatory banks can be. A lot of banks, they have these high fees. You have to have like a high minimum balance inside the bank account. And so we like to try to bring people back to the community and talk to them about the importance of savings, the importance of banking, create budget with them. Sit with them to create like a realistic financial goal. Like, so maybe a client will come and say, I want to like work on trying to get a car, not realizing how much a credit score plays a role in that. And then we'll support them to kind of like find ways to eventually attain that goal with their financial health, right? A lot of people don't realize that everybody talks about their physical health, their mental health, but nobody wants to really talk about their financial health. And I always say, like, if your financial health is messed up, then your
You're
mental
messed up.
health is going to be messed up. And then when your mental health is messed up, then your physical health gets messed up. So it's really important stuff. And so during like the session, we can help somebody open an affordable bank account. We can reduce the managed debt, establish or improve the credit score, talk to people about credit unions, the difference between credit unions and big banks. Just like I said, overall, help them establish their goal. We've helped people with identity theft, right? People are going through this struggle where like somebody stole their identity, so we can support them through that. A lot of people get these letters during tax time from the IRS and they're like, I don't know, they're asking me to make these payments, so we can kind of like support them through that. We also help a lot of the immigrant community. We have been in the Mexican consulate down in Manhattan for about 10 years, and we recently launched in April of 2024 a partnership with the Ecuadorian consulate. So we're helping a lot of folks that are coming into the United States understand banking. A lot of people don't realize how predatory the United States financial system can be to somebody that has no knowledge of how it works. And I've even had like some clients come to us and say, I've been working for this person for 5 months, and every time I go to cash one of the checks they give me, it bounces. Like, how can you help me? Like, what is happening? And then we have a lot of partnerships with community-based organizations that we can refer people out to. And so like we do a lot of referrals. We do benefit screenings. We can help people do benefits application if that's what they need, because benefits application is like, in a sense, wealth building, right, for our clients. So like in the first session, it's about 30 minutes. We'll meet with the person, we'll get to know them, we'll do like a financial health assessment, see where they are financially, what their goals are, like how do they want us to support them. Everything is very individualized. It's not us telling the client what they want, it's the client telling us what they need and us helping them to reach that goal. And then like session 2 and 3 and so on and so forth is just supporting them to gain that, to get to that goal and like attain the progress that they need to get there. So like I was saying a little bit before, we do a lot of partnering with community-based organization. So we have counselors set up in CUCS, which is the Center for Urban Community Services in Manhattan, with our Ready to Rent program, which I'll get into in a minute. We have some people, a counselor that's at PEP, Parkchester Enhancement Program for Seniors. We have a counselor in Two Pots, part of the solution. We're in connection with Workforce One. And like I said, the Mexican Ecuadorian Consulate, Hunts Point Alliance for Children. And I'm working currently with the owner of the Banknote building in Hunts Point to see if we can get a local office underneath the HRA Center in Hunts Point as well. And the idea is that we understand that people can't necessarily come to our offices. We really only have like 2 local offices. So when we have our counselors come to these community-based organizations, and I call it like a loan for the day, and we call that pop-up counseling. And then, whoever is in charge of that program would send us a client list, and then we would meet with the clients that are on that list for the day. And we can come back and do that as many times as there is a need. And then with the hopes that like some of these places that I mentioned host our counselors like 1 to 2 times a week on in an ongoing basis. And like that's their site where they work at, you know, maybe on Wednesdays they're at POTS and, you know, Tuesdays they're at Workforce One and like on a consistent basis. And we partner with the financial empowerment centers and the city council as well. And through those programs, they even have a public calendar. So 311, you can schedule an appointment with Arriva. And then by partnering with certain community-based organizations, now Arriva services are in that location. And not only can we service the internal clients, but we can service the public in that area since our offices are only in like certain locations. So the Ready to Rent program funded through the city council is this great program where a lot of people don't realize how much their finances play a part in renting an apartment in New York City, and how much their credit score means when you're trying to apply for like these housing lotteries that they're posting up all over the place. Oh, you know, apply here. We have affordable housing, low income housing. And then people are applying, not realizing that there's certain criteria and there's certain requirements financially for you to even be able to move in. So the Ready to Rent counselors sit with people, they help them do the housing applications, they help them get their documentation in order, they support them to, you know, they do the financial health assessment and support them to be ready that if they're called back for the lottery, they'll be in a good spot to get picked. We've actually had a couple of clients that we've helped like, you know, move into their affordable units. And you know, we try to walk them through the whole process. So that's the Ready to Rent program. And then we also have another program called the Micro Entrepreneur Program. This is like pretty new for us. We just started this program about 2 years ago with DYCD, which is the Department of Youth and Community Development. I got that right. And basically the Micro Entrepreneur Program is this really great program that, you know, like if people have this idea for a small business or like maybe they already have a small business, but they just don't know how to gain the clients or like get the word out there. This program can really help to like build the brand, build a social media profile, help create trademarks. We help them, you know, with their sales tax. A lot of people don't realize that they have to keep their business money separate from their personal money, and that they have to file their taxes, their sales tax quarterly. That they have to keep like very detailed and documented records of all their sales to file those taxes, or they could owe, you know, the government a lot of money. We can help them to apply and attain their licenses, permits, and certifications. Maybe you have somebody that's like vending, or they have this really great idea, you know, like I want to, you know, sell t-shirts, but they have this idea, they don't know where to go with it. They can come in and talk to the counselors. We'll help them build a business plan. We'll like put their idea on paper and work with them to like get it off the ground. Lastly, we have our free tax program. So these are the it's the post-tax season. Obviously, like taxes is in January, which is like more of a busy time. But like for now, we do file amendments, and we have an ITIN program for individual tax identification number for people that are unable to obtain a social security number, and they've been working in the United States at least for a year, and they want to be able to file taxes, so eventually that they can apply for citizenship. And a lot of people don't realize that like there's these predators out there making people pay a lot of money to get these ITINs, because with the immigrant community, it's one of the first things that they ask for when they like are they're newly into the country. So for anybody else, the income cap is if you're single, we'll file your taxes for free as long as you don't make above 32,000, and then 60,000 with dependents. And then right now they can file back taxes. And obviously during the tax season, they could do the 2024, 2025 taxes. And these are the local offices, and you can right now it's by appointment only, like I said, because it's like it's not tax time. And then just a little bit about ITIN. Like I said, it's really just for a person that's unable to obtain a social security number to be able to file their taxes in the United States, because obviously like tax paying is based on your social, and since they don't have a social, this ITIN is like what takes the place of it. And so these are a little bit of the requirements that you need to be able to apply for an ITIN. And it can also be used to open a bank account, to establish credit, and to obtain an EIN, an employer identification number, if somebody wants to start their own business. And then like I was saying earlier, like we're starting to work on benefits integration into our financial counseling programs, where we're making it a point to screen every one of our clients to see if they already have existing benefits, or if they qualify for any additional benefits, and then sitting with them to do the applications. So this is just a little bit about where we are and who we serve, right? So you can see here that, like I said, we're at the Spring Bank on 167th Street. That's one of our main offices, one of our main tax sites. And then another one of our main offices is in University Heights on 67 West Tremont. We're at the Ventanilla, obviously, in the Mexican consulate and the Ecuadorian consulate. We're in Potts on the Grand Concourse. And you know, and Parkchester, and all these other places that you can see here listed. And then the majority of our population right now that we serve is obviously Hispanic. And then the other portion is African American. And we're looking to expand that across all races and cultures so that we can help bring financial empowerment to everyone. Which is why like I've done kind of like a campaign to all the community boards in the different neighborhoods to try to increase the population. Obviously, like the majority of our staff do speak Spanish and English, and then we have a few staff who speak French and Creole as well. So we try to accommodate the client, and we do have language line for other languages as well. And then this is just about like some of the numbers. So last year in 2023, we filed 8,279 free tax returns, 3,495 people received financial counseling, 565 people received free tax preparation and financial counseling, and 329 people took advantage of our micro entrepreneur program. So that's what I got. This is my information. And like I said, like the hopes of this presentation is to like connect with community-based organizations, spread the word about Ariva. And, you know, like we can also do workshops and presentations for other community-based organizations. We're happy to come table at an event. And so the idea was to kind of just, like I said, spread the word and let you guys know all these great services that we offer for free.
Thank you so much, Melissa. Very, very informative and very interesting. I have a question or two, and I'm Sandy. One, where do you get your funding from to do all this? Or do you charge for your services?
No, so we have grants through New York State. We have grants from Capital One Bank. We have grants from M&T Bank. We have grants from the Financial Empowerment Centers of New York City, the New York City Council, St. Cabrini's funds. So M&T Bank and St. Cabrini's fund our Ventanilla programs at the Mexican and Ecuadorian consulate. Capital One, the Financial Empowerment Centers, and the City Council fund most of our financial counseling programs throughout the Bronx. And the Ready to Rent program is one of our only programs that expands to the 5 boroughs through the New York City Council. And then we have the New York State program and DYCD, so the Division for Youth and Community Development funds our micro entrepreneur programs.
How long has your organization been in existence? Because it's the first I've ever heard of it, and you're doing so much.
For about 20 years. Like I said, we started with just
Wow.
free tax preparations in a small office in the South Bronx. We were doing about 400 returns, and then we kind of blew up, and it's a VITA program. So I didn't even mention the best part. Like, we do have a VITA program where we like ask for people to volunteer to prepare taxes for the
Right.
clients that come in, and we help people get certified through the IRS. So they'll have the certification that they're like legitimate tax preparers, and then they can file there. And we're doing like an internship program as well for the VITA program, so that people are going to school for accounting and things like that can come intern with us to do the taxes for free. So that's how we kind of like pay for all of the stuff.
Does VITA stand for volunteers in training or something like that?
I'm head of the financial capabilities, and we have another program director who does the taxes. She would kill me right now, but I can't remember. It's definitely
Okay, all right, okay.
volunteer something tax preparation.
Right, okay.
It means that we have volunteers, and we have paid seasonal staff that we hire just for tax time, and then we have about 45 to 50 hoping to increase volunteers.
Cynthia, I'm going to throw something out to you and the rest of the board or this group. Why can't they meet the clients from their organization once a week in the office here if they set up times?
You need another office.
Or even
to
in
do your
another,
work?
because she said they need another office to meet and to talk. If this office isn't used as much, and we know that there's a time schedule, that they have someone, might prove very useful.
Let's look into that.
It's just something to think about.
Yeah. Also, we'd like to invite you to come or at least give us some paper information, not just
Right.
online, for people to pick up at our monthly board meetings.
Oh, yeah, that's
Community
a
board
good
meeting.
Yeah,
So, people appreciate, hard copies of things.
right. You could drop in at the board meeting, which is, once a month, but you're only given 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So to speak here, you could, have as much time as you need. So yes, that would be good. And also,
To
I'm
come,
thinking of company, as crazy as I am, of another health fair, and we'll invite you then. And you can have a table there.
Oh, that would be fantastic. I really appreciate it. I'm wondering like if you want to maybe like throw your emails in the chat, and then I can like reach out to you and I can send you a whole bunch of flyers. We have them in Spanish and English, and we even have flyers where like you can call the number to set an appointment, or you can scan a QR code and it'll take you directly to set an appointment with one of our local offices. And I really love the idea of like utilizing your office space. I don't know what would have to go down to make that happen, but
Why?
if you guys want me to reach out like tomorrow when I'm back in the office, I can send an email to start with all the flyers and stuff, and then we can follow up with like the event and all that other stuff. Like I'm really excited that you guys like love the services. That's why I'm really happy to just kind of like do these presentations, because you'd be amazed at how many people haven't heard of us, and we're like all over the place,
Yeah, right.
it would be helpful to have actual, and I'm saying this again, actual brochures that I'm sure your
Hard
office has,
copies.
hard copies for the board office, and also for, to give out at our meetings.
Right. You have my email address already. Cynthia gave you hers. I'm going to get the new board members' emails and phone numbers, and I'll give you mine, so that we'll have it, and then they can all send it out. Is there
Okay,
anyone
perfect.
else?
You're
Anyone from-
Sandra, right? Are you the one that I was emailing back and forth with?
Yes. And it worked.
Okay.
Got on, the way I told you to do it worked. So I'm glad.
All right.
I
I
did have-
appreciate it so much. Yeah, I had to be downtown in Manhattan today. Otherwise, I would have came in person, and I have like a bunch of flyers in my trunk I would have brought. But there was like a big event today at the Mexican consulate, and I had to go down there, and I was like, I'm not going to be able to make it home until I don't drive downtown. So I
So-
appreciate that you guys have the online forum. So I appreciate that.
2 things. If you're ever in the Bronx, you can, during business hours, you can see if the office is open and drop off some flyers.
Or
So-
you could check and see if I'm home, and you could drop them off there too. Oh,
Right,
and I'm around.
right.
Yeah.
I did have a question about that internship program.
Yes.
Do you have information on your website about it?
Yes, so everything, if you guys want, you can go to arriva.org, I'll put it in the chat. And all the information is there. And I also flyer for it's like all the things that and like more of a breakdown of what it entails.
Thank you.
Well, I really appreciate you guys letting me speak today, and it was a pleasure to kind of like virtually meet all of you.
Is there-
I mean, if you want, I can hang out for the rest of the meeting. But
Yes,
if you
someone
don't
else
need
has
me,
a question.
Yeah, we have a gallery.
okay.
We have a gallery here. Okay,
Listen, how you doing? My name is Sarah Delaney, and I've been a recipient of Ariba. So here on 167th Street, when I started at Hostess Community College, I went through there. So I did your financial training, and I'll be back again, but you are very helpful, and it's very integral part, it's very long lines. So we need more people to help out with the tax preparation, but they do offer a lot of different services. It's very helpful.
Oh, well, thank you.
great.
See, at least one person has heard of us. Yay.
An idea, and she was not a plant.
67th Street next to the supermarket, and I opened up a bank account in spring when I first started with them.
Nice.
I'll email you.
Yeah, Spring Bank is wonderful. They have a lot of like they have this loan
That is.
where they like if you want to establish credit, you know, a lot of times they say you have to take out a personal loan, and a lot of people don't realize or can even afford to take out a personal loan because sometimes the payments every month are like phenomenal, right? So Spring Bank actually has this like build credit loan where you give them $1,000 and then with no interest you pay back the loan, and all the money that you pay them back they put it into a savings account. And when the loan is fully paid off, they give you the $1,000 back and they report to the credit unions to help you build your credit. So it's like a really great like community bank. And we've been in partnership with them for the longest time. And so we try to, I mean, we don't tell our clients where to go. We always try to give them options. But like if I had to recommend a bank to somebody that was kind of just starting out and try to figure out their finances and stuff, Spring Bank would be that bank.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else have any questions from the gallery?
You have a question?
Do you have anyone? David, you have a
Question?
Yeah.
Hello, Melissa. My name is
Hi.
Tutu Diallo. I would like to talk to you in regard to the African population in the Bronx here now, the migrant population. And we're trying to get some financial education for them. If you don't mind,
Okay.
if you don't mind, I will call you back so we can just follow up on this.
Okay, if you want, do you want to take like a screenshot of my contact information? This is my direct line and
Melissa, what I will do is I will email you the email she sent me with a presentation
Okay.
and you'll have it all. Is that okay?
Yes.
oh yeah, that's perfect.
I will do that.
Okay.
Anyone else?
Hi, good evening. It's Kay Cardona. May I speak?
All right.
Sure, yes, please.
Go ahead.
Hi, welcome back, everybody. Thank you, Ms. Tunkel. That was a wonderful presentation. I just wish I had known about you guys when I got out of a domestic violence situation many years ago. I had 3 part-time jobs and I was so badly damaged I only had one, and I was supporting an actual house. I had to pay for heating, childcare, tuition-based school for my son. I wish I had known about you guys all those years ago, because my ex completely destroyed my credit in my life by identity thefting me. So I'm so appreciative that you guys exist. And I just wish I had known about you guys all those years ago. I might not have suffered so much. I really hope that other people don't have to go through anything like that.
I appreciate that, Kate. Thank you so much. And I'm sorry you went through that. I wish we could have been there for you too. I apologize that we didn't get out to you sooner, but that is the goal, to like help people in all different situations.
Well, could you possibly do some outreach through, like, let's say, a law firm that specializes in domestic violence, like Sanctuary for Families, or maybe Safe Horizons?
Yeah, I mean, if they'll have us, we actually just partnered very recently with Legal Hand.
Oh, okay,
Uh,
okay, yeah. That is,
So I mean, if they'll work with us, I know like Safe Horizon is very hush hush. So just a little bit of background about me. Like before I started with Ariba, I used to work in supportive housing. I was a program director at a supportive housing for people with mental health and substance use issues, and we dealt with a lot of like domestic violence because we had families and children in our building, and so I'm very familiar with Safe Horizon and. Just saying that they're like very hush hush. They don't want to let anybody know what's going on, and like the identities of all the people that stay there are very private. So I mean, if they'll have us, we'll definitely come out. But I don't know, that like I would have to connect with somebody that would allow us to do that. And of course, I would want to make sure that it was okay and safe for the residents to do so.
yeah, because with so many people coming from other cultures, domestic violence is so prevalent in many cultures outside of here, as well as our own culture here in America. So it's just like, as somebody that survived and I'm an advocate for abuse victims, it's just, I thought it might be a wonderful idea because people going through that type of thing suffer so much financially. It's just so devastating on so many levels, but people don't realize, well, why are you homeless? Why are you this? Why? Because when you're in that situation, if you are damaged or you're running from place to place to stay safe, it's hard to hold down a job. It's hard to keep up with credit. There's childcare, there's all sorts of things that a lot of people don't realize go into it. So it was just food for thought. Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much.
Yes, no problem. I appreciate you sharing that stuff with us. Thank you.
Okay, have a great night, everybody.
Wait,
Yeah,
we have one more person.
Melissa, I know you deal a lot with grown-ups and things like that, but would you mind having a program that you could work with inner city youth and Bronxites, young people, to help with the financial training? Because kids get their credit cards when they're 18.
Right.
Everybody's got credit and it goes awry. So if you can start with children that are like 16, 17, that are in high school, when they're getting ready to go to college before they get there, that would be such a great help. That'll show them how to spend their money as opposed to start saving their money. Because if you compound interest starting at age 18 with 1 penny, you could have $1 million.
That was their old.
We can start with them when they're 18, and that'll take their minds off of spending their money on the
Uh-oh.
streets, clothes and things like that. Show them what it actually can do for them. And that'll be a good way to help them start.
Yeah.
Right,
That's a very
with
good
job
idea.
market, with housing and all of that. That's how you can help build health and wealth stability,
Do you know that
financial stability.
Apple Pay is gonna open up, or Apple's gonna open up their own bank
Hmm.
to do things like that, because you could send Apple Cash
Mhm.
to, someone, and they have it, and they're gonna have a
I
bank.
agree that.
So I know
well-
you're even writing a check up on that.
Not going
Oh.
into the local high schools, right?
Yeah.
Well, so we're actually, well, a few things about that. So we partnered with a charter school very recently called La Bria. They have 8 schools across the Bronx, and when they do the drop off in the morning for the kids, they have coffee and conversation is what they call it, and we're doing presentations in several of the schools. November. Our VITA tax program, you can be a tax volunteer as young as 16. So we do support like the youth to like learn those skills to help them put it on their resumes and things like that. So the VITA program is from 16 and up. Unfortunately, at this time, anybody that wants to do financial counseling with us has to be at least 18 years old. But they can be any age to file their taxes for free with us. And the VITA program starts at 16.
But do you go into the neighborhoods to help the 18-year-old get this?
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I'm here, kind of like spreading the word about our services, trying to get the word out there. We've over the summer, we joined about like 15 community fairs. You know, we did a back to school event in August, you know, where we had a bunch of kids. We were out front of the PAL building by the 41st precinct in Longwood Avenue. And we helped them give back to schools, and we, you know, tried to hand out flyers and get the word out there for, you know, the kids getting ready to start back at school, you know. So, I mean, like I said, unfortunately, we right now, when it comes to financial counseling, we can only support people 18 and up. But I mean, I don't know, there's a lot of funding, you know, moving around in the world right now. So maybe find something to fund our programs where we can service some of the youth.
Do you have any agencies up here? In the North Bronx?
Yeah, like, yeah, we're working towards it. Like, like, again, that's why I'm kind of here, just like spreading the word, because we can have our services anywhere in the Bronx, you know, but we're like clustered, like in University Heights and West Farms. And so, you know, my goal is to like get to places in the North Bronx and Mott Haven and all these other places that might not have heard of us, you know?
Okay.
We have one more.
Okay.
Go right ahead.
Greetings, Patricia A. Charles from Eastchester Gardens. We thank you for what you're doing, and hopefully we might be able to, if you can send me a breakdown of your presentation as well, Sister Charles at gmail.com. I would be able to pass that on to most of the developments, Eastchester Gardens, Gun Hill Houses, Baychester, Boston Secor.
That's good.
And all of those different areas that we're working from as tenants associations, and just, you know, just leaders who are actually reaching out to make sure that these things are happening. So I appreciate it if you could do that for me, and then we'll be able to invite you to one of our tenants association meetings, and you'll be able to also pass that on through our tenants association.
Yes, absolutely. I would love to. Tomorrow when I get back in the office, I'm going to email Sandra, Cynthia, and Sister Charles. I got you. I will
Thank you.
send you guys a bunch of stuff, some flyers, like I said, where you guys can set up appointments directly with people, you know, and then please keep me in mind for any health fairs,
Oh, we will.
events, you know, anything that you guys got going on that you think, you know, would be a good fit for us to come hang out and talk to people about their financial health. We'll be there.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank the gallery for all the good
Thank
questions,
you.
et cetera. You're quite welcome.
Maybe we're back now.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you again so much for letting me present today.
Thank you, Melissa.
Thank you.
Thank you, Melissa.
I have been reminded.
Should I leave or?
It's
Whatever you
up to
want.
you.
Can stay or.
You can stay or whatever.
So,
All right.
you had a long day.
I have
Yeah.
been advised. by-
I'm gonna head out because I've been doing this since like the crack of dawn. But again, thank you so much, everybody. I appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
You're around.
I will make sure
We'll do the
Dr.
gallery.
gets it. Right, we did the gallery.
No, there might be other.
Are there any other questions
Other
in the gallery?
questions or anything?
No, I think,
Somebody online that has.
no, we
No,
don't.
just no, it's only K.
It was only.
Does anybody, we have a gallery session officially now?
Yeah, we
Does
did.
anybody?
Well, I
Yeah,
thought we-
but I mean, that was, yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
there was something else somebody wants to
Anybody else?
say?
No, I'm just glad to be back to see.
Thank you.
Faces and just to
Okay,
get back
very
into
good.
some
Right,
things.
well, Jeremy reminded me, Cynthia reminded me that we have to choose a chair.
Okay.
So I'm the chair today, but does anyone else
I-
want to be the chair and we'll vote on you? Oh.
I'm
you
gonna
turned
make
it
I'm
down.
gonna make
Yeah.
a nomination that for Sandra Unger as chair.
Second.
Again.
Second.
Oh, boy,
All right.
you're in
Like
favor.
that one, that was fast.
All right.
I don't even have a reaction here. I don't.
Okay.
No, no, actually, it's funny.
You're allowed.
Okay,
You're funny.
and I'm going to nominate, because I'm allowed,
Yep.
Joanne to be my co-chair.
Second.
Oh my God.
All right, now
Should always be there.
Alright, right?
Alrighty.
So just for the record,
It was
Sandra,
unanimous.
yes.
It's her
Sandra
choice.
continues and Joanne continues.
Okay,
as
so
the
now then I will go on and proceed what I'll do for next month. I don't want to get ahead of myself.
Funny.
Old business, one old business is, I was reminded that last session, we never, ever sent a letter to the Montefiore Hospital concerning the questions and
The nursing.
the nurses who work in the pediatrics unit at Westchester Square, the outpatient. So how are we gonna do it, Cynthia? We have to redo the letter
That
or
has to
what?
be rewritten.
Jeremy sent,
He didn't send it to me, or I don't,
this was at the end of July.
All right, so this is
Right.
like,
and I assumed that it had gone out.
So this is the letter. Maybe we can take a look at it,
yeah.
or not.
So this is the letter here.
All right. Pediatric patient safety at Manchester Medical Center, community for 11/25 and 26.
Cynthia, you said, that what didn't you like about the letter? Or what, and you are a nurse.
Yeah, they're really.
Yeah, that really like shocked me. I thought everyone was gonna go.
I'm not sure where the questions came from in the second paragraph. I'm not saying that they're not valid. Just my understanding was more that the letter would be more basic, like, you know, we support the NICE nurses in their request for A, B, or C.
Okay.
Just hit the first button, Dr. Diallo. Just tap it
Yeah, unlock it once.
and that's it.
You're good.
I don't know.
If I never said it.
So that was my only issue. It just seemed that the questions appeared to be kind of micromanagey and getting into operational issues.
Well,
of the
that's what,
hospital.
but that's what the nurses brought up also.
Yeah.
They were felt that they weren't getting the proper training, that they could not administer the proper care, the materials that were needed were not available, et cetera.
Yeah.
So I don't know. if
So
that
I
was
don't
my
disagree, I don't disagree with encouraging additional training. You can sit there. I didn't disagree with their request, for our support. It just felt a little intrusive in hospital operations specifically, and I didn't feel it was our place to kind of interrogate them in that way. That was just my opinion.
What do you mean by that?
Well, the nurses were saying that they were being transferred from one facility to another with little to no training,
Exactly.
which as a nurse and a clinician, like, I completely get that. And I think that there needs to be adequate support and adequate training if you're being cross-trained. I just didn't like the tone of the letter. I just felt that it was, you know, a little kind of, we're asking you, what are you doing? And did you do this?
To the head of the
Head
hospital.
of the hospital.
And also,
On behalf of the NICE nurses, they were asking for our support, and I think we can give our support without saying, are you doing this, and this?
because the.
Because that might open the hospital up to liability also.
It does, but that's the whole point though. And being cross-trained is one thing, being specifically trained, not cross-trained, specifically trained as a pediatric NICU nurse or from ICU point or an ER nurse is totally different than adult versus.
They were not, I'm sorry, not,
My name is Sarah Delaney, I'm a nurse.
okay, Sarah, no, I understand.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to say was also the nurses had also said that besides not having the training, they didn't have the equipment.
This is my whole
Yes,
point,
right.
my whole point, so.
So maybe
even-
that's just has to be
No,
said in a
this-
broad way.
Yes,
In
that's
a
what I
broader
think.
manner.
Even
Okay.
being cross-trained, to go from med surg to ICU is having a hard time to staff them. You really can't because you're not fully trained for that. So with children, it's the same thing. And the equipment that's necessary in order to do that. So they're supposed to have education that's taking care of that. So a direct question is nothing wrong with that. As a community board, you're saying to the hospital, please train our nurses properly. And NYSA is saying that they need more training, cross training, and they have to be certified in it.
And
Because if something happens
And they
to
need the
the children,
equipment.
that's gonna be a problem.
That's
Right, that's a liability.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
That's
That's
you're
where the liability
right.
will come in. Then there will be a parent that says, this nurse was not properly trained to
That's
take
right.
care of this child.
That's right.
And
Where's
very
the
much so.
equipment? That's the other.
Exactly.
And then you want that equipment, so
When you job
without your stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when you look at a hospital that's doing that, you're saving money by cross training and pushing nurses here and there because you're not providing the adequate staff, the safe and adequate care. Safe, adequate, competent care. We're not talking about top notch, just basic. That's to be done. And if it's not, that's doing your whole, that's doing it.
Right, and if they need an emergency stuff, it's not available.
That cannot advocate for themselves. And many of the parents are very upset when their child is sick. So the nurses also, it's not fair to the nurses there. Because if I know I'm not properly trained and I have sick children coming past me, anything can happen.
No, 100%, and I'm not disagreeing with
That's
you.
not.
I'm not disagreeing with you, I just think the language for me is
Now,
a little.
the child
okay.
life specialist is something different, because if it was basically saying about the cross training, about the education, about certification, about the supplies that are necessary, that is direct messaging.
Yes.
And that's what the hospital has to be.
They have to
Yeah.
respond to.
Thank you.
So that, the child life specialist, but what, at the bottom part right there, I think that could be come into a lower paragraph. Because that's necessary, could you just bring highlighting what's necessary for the children and things of that nature, but the basic point is education, certification, and proper maintenance.
So you know, in other words, it doesn't have to have that the level of detail. Just that if
Right.
they don't have the education,
Right.
they need it.
And we have teachers and we have educators that
Yeah.
come and train you.
Right.
And 6 days to train somebody.
It's
from
not enough.
regular floor to go to pediatrics, to me, it's not enough. I wouldn't feel comfortable. And then it said that with the 6 days of training, it was interrupted. So how many hours did, right?
Yeah.
That's true. You're right. You didn't have 6 days. You had
Right.
6 continuous days from 9 to 5. What was the training period?
Did you ever hear the word bupkis? Like nothing?
And it's a shame because any nurse that's taking care of a patient, that is a responsibility. So when I saw for that patient, I touched that patient, if something happens, it's on me.
Yeah.
And that's where they're protecting themselves as well.
Because they're putting it on
Their state of mind is in a different frame of being able to take care of them
So
with the proper.
what shall we do? Shall we say,
I would suggest reaching out to Ms. Cavagon,
yeah,
one more time, because I know there's been a
Apparently, I
lag,
think
there's been a lag.
Yeah.
There's been a lag between the time they requested it and now, just.
what
to
has
see-
been happening?
Yeah.
And this has to happen before the full board meeting. because
Yes, Jeremy said he was gonna reach
Okay,
out.
because
And
this-
this is for the nurse.
Because if you've been waiting for 3 months,
And
They
this
can
is
help you.
May-
with that.
I
They
thought
can
it was
help you
sent
with
out.
Yeah.
You know, when Jeremy posted it.
okay.
And this has been since May.
May 23rd.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So as I said, you know, I thought it was out there and then you reminded me today. Okay, so we'll do that.
We'll get on it.
And Jared,
That's
will get on it.
important.
Sounds good.
All right,
Okay, because the hospital is still getting paid child per child per child per child, and it's all on the nurses, and that's not fair.
Yeah.
Them or the children that they're taking care of.
The other part is the health fair.
the health fair, as we know, basically Cynthia and I were there and did most of the work and set it up. But we realized that May and June are not good months to do it. So maybe if we have another one, which I would like to have, and I have certain groups, and if you know any group that would like to come and participate, we'll get more.
So April. So
Maybe
more
sometime
April,
in April.
like spring when the weather's nice.
It's not, weather is nice, well, we could always get Bronx House, but with Father's Day, Mother's Day, graduation, formal events, it was,
Yeah.
and then the weather was
The
so
weather was
hot.
horrible.
Yeah,
well,
it was really.
Still, we had a good turnout. So how many are in agreement of thinking or having another health fair and helping at the health fair? Oh, no one's raising their hand.
Make it
If you have any group or ideas,
Yeah.
let me know and we'll get in contact.
Okay.
Melissa contacted me and, so she contacted the board and I'm glad. I mean, it's 20 years and I never heard it.
I mean, really.
Thank you
I never heard that, right?
for,
Sarah.
Sarah for letting us know.
When
I
I
mean,
started, I went and I did my,
I just think it's funny.
associates at Hostels, that's how.
That's how you read it.
So I started at Hostels in 2007.
So Sandy, just, Rich mentioned, for
Are
documentation.
you making a motion?
Yes.
What's your motion?
Oh, I make a motion that we have Jeremy, get back to Ms. Camagon, ask her how far things have gone and to tweak the letter a little bit better and we will approve it at the full board meeting.
So I'll second.
I'll say it, go ahead.
I'll second.
Okay? So has that.
This is from when, April 2025, you're talking
I'm
about?
yeah.
And then Sandy, do you want to make a motion about the health fair?
Well, oh, yeah,
The date.
okay. Oh, I don't know yet. I'm just.
You just, okay, sounds good.
Sometime I would think in April, and I have to look at the calendar.
Yeah, we
Because
have
there may be
holidays.
holidays that
Very
can happen.
Where's the health fair held?
We helped it at
Bronx House.
Bronx House,
At the Bronx. House.
which was nice
Okay.
because it was indoors, it was air conditioned,
Yeah.
it was a ramp. And that worked out well, but it was just, the heat wave was awful.
Right.
It was just awful.
You have to check for availability too. if
Well,
it's
yeah,
there.
yeah, I have to personal check with that. But I think April would be much better.
I think so too.
So I guess old and new we've combined. kind of.
Do you think, that, we can have Pat and, Dr. Diallo just do a quick intro since they're
Yeah,
new committee
thank you.
members?
Yes, you want to tell us your background?
Yeah.
Are you, you're a doctor?
Tell us, you're a doctor.
I have a business doctorate.
Okay, okay.
That-
Otherwise, we won't come
Not a
to you
medical
with aches
doctor.
and pains.
Oh,
right?
okay.
I could not be a medical doctor, I got to change. But I'm not a doctor. Born in Africa, Mali, West Africa.
Oh,
that's nice.
Yeah, so I live at Park Houses, one of the chair housing. Been a permanent substitute teacher in the city for a long time.
Oh,
what did you teach? In what grade?
2007
Where
to
did you,
2020.
where did you teach?
A different school, they call me when the state exam comes, so teaching math and science.
Oh, that's right.
Wow, that's great.
District 11 or anywhere?
Anywhere in the
I
province.
see.
My last school was CIS 219, the middle school.
Okay.
Oh, God bless you guys. I taught high school.
And then GED was Mid Manhattan Adult.
Oh,
Practice.
nice.
Great,
So they moved me around just for the exam time,
but you get the job. That's what's important.
and they all passed.
Oh, that's a good thing. I know the feeling when someone passed the regents. Oh, God, I'm
It's
very
not
happy.
easy work. It's not easy.
My name is Patricia Cambria Patrizia, first generation Italian American. I was born and raised in the Bronx. I taught in City Island for 30 years.
You know McManus?
Oh, yes, Deborah McManus, I know them. Yeah, I know.
Wow,
Deborah, yeah.
small world.
We worked together. What can I say? I'm married 34 years. I have 3 grown children. I
And-
became a grandma this year.
Thank you. Oh, thank the elementary and junior high school.
Elementary special needs.
Yes.
Well, welcome, guys.
Thank you, guys.
So everybody, welcome back and I'll think of someone for next month, although I know that this month I just about is prostate cancer awareness.
Yes.
That's a good
So
one.
either maybe get someone or get the group that came
Last year?
to our health, well, the doctor, he
Oh,
was good,
the,
but the group, I have the.
The
black nurses.
The black, I'm going, so now that I know that, and I'll contact them and say, yes, I know we're a month late, but it's never too late.
Yeah,
Never too late.
Yeah, because that doctor, and remember he said he would be at the health fair.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
I never,
never answered me
Oh,
back,
okay.
never did,
okay.
and he's too clinical.
He was clinical. That was
Very
an in-depth
good.
conversation.
Well, I
Very
really,
like
yeah, you were my tech guy.
Yeah, it was.
Montefiore and the African, New Immigrant African Commission. We're organizing something on the 28th of September.
Email me. When I email you, you'll email me
I
back.
sent it to.
Yeah.
I sent it to-
Okay. But
Yeah, so, that's a good way, that's a cancer center.
yeah,
Yeah, Monte-
so, but I will get in touch with the group, because they were very good, and I'd love them to come back. And when they showed how to do the, CPR on children,
Oh, yeah.
oh, they did a lot. They were,
And also, did they do something with the
they really did
childcare?
a lot at the health fair.
Did they also do like a highlight thing?
Well, they showed it with the children, how to do it on a baby. They had like a, model. They were very, very good. And it was a last minute thing, and sometimes the last minute things are the best.
I think the prostate cancer thing is.
Yeah,
very
I
good.
will do that.
I don't think we did a second for the moving the health, motion to move a health fair to April.
Well, she doesn't know yet, she said.
Doesn't know?
Well, I don't
No,
know.
I moved to the month,
Oh, are you sure with April?
April, because we
Yeah.
can't do May, June.
If you're sure with April, then you
And
can
then
make a
who
motion.
is?
Yeah, and I
I'll
will.
second it.
The second,
Yeah,
Right.
okay.
before it is.
Any
Let's-
objections?
And
Okay, unanimous.
so I want to thank everyone for coming. And I thought it was a very informative meeting. Yes.
Before you guys end up.
What?
There's a gentleman back there.
Yes.
This gentleman here, and you were talking about prostate month.
Yeah.
So Robert Smith, right, he's one of the wealthiest African Americans. He created a bus that goes around that's a free prostate cancer screening. And.
Oh, they
Yeah,
did?
yeah.
That would be great for the health.
Yeah, it's a free bus, like you go for dental training.
Oh,
there's-
mammogram.
And I have your, oh, Bill, put it down, your name, email, and then I'll email you and ask you for that address. Did you want to talk?
Oh, no, I did not.
You came in at the end. Yes.
You just want to recognize. Don't you know Debbie McManus?
Oh, big time.
They just went back they went to Africa.
They went to Africa, they
And
went on.
Dubai. She took the grandchildren.
Sandy, do you want to adjourn?
Oh, yes, meeting adjourned, I called, let's adjourn the meeting.
Okay, meeting adjourned.
Good night,
And then-
everyone.
Have a good night, everyone. Meeting adjourned at 8:10 PM. Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna
My daughter's still teaching.
Hey, Miguel.